I have been carrying the same EDC flashlight for about 7 years, and recently I decided it's time for an upgrade. With that flashlight being 7 years old, it's not that powerful. It does a great job for what I wanted it to do, but with technology improving so much over recent years, there's no reason to be stuck with the 250, 300 lumens that your typical 2CR123 type flashlights of yesteryear limited you to before. So when Thrunite offered to send me one of their relatively new models, I read the specs and I thought, well, this may do what I want it to do. And it actually answers a common problem that I have seen, at least for my typical usage, with many modern type flashlights. So what we have up today is a Thrunite TC12. Well, welcome back. Thanks for choosing to spend your time with me today. Right off the bat, I want to say I fully realize that YouTube is full of flashlight videos. Flashlight videos are a dime a dozen these days. So I'm going to handle flashlight reviews somewhat different, so to speak. I'm going to be extremely picky. The only flashlights I'm going to review are ones that I feel have improved my life or improved the quality of my everyday carry gear, or gear that I actually use on a daily or somewhat frequent basis. So that being said, I'm not going to let flashlights overwhelm my channel. I'm going to be extremely picky about the ones I show off to you guys. As I said, this is a Thrunite TC12, and it ticks pretty much all the boxes I would like to see a everyday carry flashlight tick. It does have some issues as far as my particular usage, but as far as I can tell, there is not a flashlight on the market available today that answers everything that I want it to answer. So this isn't a direct criticism of this particular flashlight itself. In that line of thinking, let's go ahead and address the problems that I have with most flashlights out there today. Most flashlights are controlled by a button somewhere up towards the head of the flashlight, which isn't particularly bad. In many applications, it is pretty convenient. This one itself is nice in that it has immediate response. I have used others here recently that you push it and you have to hold it down for, like an eighth of a second or a quarter of a second, something like that, for it to actually respond and change modes. This one doesn't do that. It responds immediately. To address the problem that I have with these, my main carry, if I'm out in the woods looking for something, or if I'm practicing with a firearm or something like that, in those situations I carry my flashlight chucked up in my hand like this, and so I can control it with my thumb with the tail cap. In previous yesteryear models, the tail cap was the only control on most flashlights, and so you just click up through the modes until you get to the mode you want to get to. Well, now with this one, it's on and off, and that's it, which is how I feel that Thrunite has kind of answered the issue with the mode control being up here, because this flashlight has a memory. So if you set it to where you want it, whether it be medium, high, wherever, it has a memory. So wherever you turn it off, it comes back on with that mode. It's hard when you have your flashlight up like this to find that button up here towards the front of the flashlight and change the modes or turn it on or do whatever. And so because of that memory, you leave it where you want it, you can still control the on-off function of your flashlight. 98% of the time when I'm using this flashlight, no matter what I'm doing, I use it on the medium setting. So relying on the memory aspect of this flashlight, I can still use this flashlight the way that I am used to, the way I like to use a flashlight, chucked up, held like this, kind of reversed in my palm, without issue whatsoever. Now this flashlight does meet all what I would consider to be modern standards. It is shockproof, it is waterproof, etc., etc. All the exact specifications will be in the description of this video. It runs off of a single 18650 battery, which it does come with one, which is pretty cool. That is a rechargeable battery, and what is neat about this particular model here, comes with a mini USB port right there, so you can directly charge that battery in this flashlight itself, which is really neat. Especially if you're one that relies on other 18650 batteries, you have a spare charger with this flashlight in and of itself. As I alluded to, the on-off is in the tail cap, which I hope you guys can see this here. Kind of use my palm as to reflect the light. That light on the button there will come on green when the light is on. As I mentioned earlier, it does react immediately when you use that button to cycle through the modes. There you have Firefly, which I'm sure you can't see. You have low, medium, high, and turbo. To get to strobe, you just hold it down. Let's not get rambly. Let's go straight to the nighttime demonstration. Just to hit up the lumen levels here really quick. This is 0.4 lumens. I realize you guys can't probably see this very well just on this camera. I mean, it is not even a half of a lumen. That will run for 70 days in the Firefly mode. Moving over to low mode, which is 28 lumens for 3 days. That beam is about 15 feet in front of the camera. As you can see, that's a good usable beam. 28 lumens, about what you'd want to hike on, something like that. Let's go ahead and move up to medium. We're looking at about 20, 25 yards, something like that. We're just on my driveway. This is the longest stretch of unwooded area I have. That is 180 lumens. That will run for 9.5 hours. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move up to high, which is 640 lumens, and that will run for 2.5 hours. All right, that is 640 lumens. Like I said, that will go for 2.5 hours. We're looking at about the same patch of ground. Apparently my camera won't focus much beyond that, at least not on my viewfinder here. Now in turbo mode, that will go at 1000 lumens at 2.6 hours. Now honestly, I will go ahead and say that that doesn't make sense, because the turbo mode, it is more lumens, yet it says according to the factory claims that it will run 1/10 of an hour longer than it does on high. I don't know how that works, folks, but that's just what the factory claims are. Now let's go ahead and get a woods look at this. I mean, a more practical view. I mean, not everybody's going to stare at their driveway with a flashlight. All right, here we're looking at about 15 yards to the brush line. This is as much cleared as I have on my property. Looking at about 15 yards to the brush line. This is low. That is medium. That is high. And true to form, I bet you we're not going to see much difference between high and turbo mode. You can see it with the naked eye, but the viewfinder doesn't really pick it up very well. Realistically speaking, once you get so bright, a little bit more bright doesn't really affect much of a difference. Well, that does it on this Thrunite TC12. I hope it speaks a little bit that I am actively carrying it for EDC. This isn't just, I don't have this light just to do a video on it, I'm actually using it on a daily basis. This flashlight does do everything I need it to do. I have had to change a little bit of how I do things as far as the control of the flashlight, but I found in that transition it hasn't inconvenienced me whatsoever. So if you are interested in a more powerful EDC flashlight, or if you're like me, I actually carry 2 flashlights on a daily basis all the time, and this particular model is the more powerful of the 2 that I carry. But if you're like me, roll with 2, or if you just want one multi-mode flashlight, this might be something you're interested in. It does bring a lot to the table, and it does add quite a bit to your EDC toolbox. Anyway, folks, thanks again very much for being here today. I hope this video has been informative and helpful to you, and maybe trying to decide what flashlight is right for you. Guys, if you liked the video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. If you'd like to hang around for a little while for some more videos, content similar to this, camp cooking, bushcraft type stuff, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, hit up that comment section. Let me know what you think. Start a discussion. Let's just talk about this light and anything else you guys want to talk about. Anyway, thanks again for being here today, and I will see you next time. Guys, I hope you have a great day.